Hi, I'm Chef Johnny. Welcome to Wicked Confidential. It's a cooking show where I tell you how to cook the classics so you don't have to spend a lot of money going out to a restaurant. I'm doing a pseudo New Year's Eve show tonight. I'm going to show you how to do beef Wellington, a classic dish, and 5 other appetizers. My goal for this is I don't like going out on New Year's Eve. There's a lot of amateur drivers out there. It's just better to stay home. This meal is going to allow you to prepare everything beforehand so you can have a great time with your guests. What I have right here is a tenderloin of beef, better known as a filet mignon. This is the small end portion of it. There's a butt end that I use for the chili cook-off this weekend in Coventry. Incidentally, which I didn't win, but is a very nice lady that won. So this is how you break down a tenderloin. This is the chain right here. This is basically, I know people hate to see this, but this is a useless piece of meat. You can't eat it. It's all full of tendons. It's good to save to make a stock with. But as far as eating, you can maybe get a little pieces off it, but that's what happens with a fillet. This is fat on the bottom. We want to get rid of that. A beef Wellington is traditionally done with a goose liver or a duck liver. I use ground up mushrooms because I don't really like to eat the organ meat, and a lot of people are just put off by it. It really doesn't affect the flavor that much, so I hope you like it. This is called silver skin right here. It's really, really tough. Simply put your knife under the skin and just run it along, and it comes right off. You're going to hack it up a little in the beginning. And again, if you don't want to do this, I got this from Highland Park Market right here in town. They have great butchers there. They'd be happy to help you with anything you need. And they would do all this for you. And you just have to wrap it like I'm going to show you. I like to leave a little fat on because tenderloin has no fat at all. This end, we take off the little end because it's not going to cook as consistently as that. A little more fat will take off here. Put all that aside right now. So this is what it looks like, a filet mignon. This is the ground up mushrooms, and instead of the goose liver that I was just talking about. And I simply take these and just push them down into the meat. It's a tiny bit of onion in here too. This is about 3 cups of mushrooms that I put in a food processor. I'm going to change my gloves. I'm going to grab the puff pastry, which is up here. Now the puff pastry I got here, we got from a restaurant supply store. So it is a big sheet. But this stuff is acquirable in any grocery store. The Pepperidge Farm people make it. It's a pretty good product. It's just layers and layers of flour and butter. That's puff pastry. It'll be a nice flaky crust when this is all done. This cooks at about 425 degrees for about 25 minutes. So we want to get this in first, and then we'll get on to our appetizers. The first time I ever saw this made, too, incidentally, was on TV with Julia Child. One of us, we didn't get many channels on TV in Columbia, Connecticut, so I watched a lot of public television. I didn't know she was drinking when I was a kid. I thought she was just happy, but I watched her hack up a Christmas goose once, and it was a great experience. And I said, wow, how can I get to do that? And here I am. So this just, I'm not a pastry chef, so it's not going to be really that fancy. Simply go like that, crimp the ends here, roll it. I didn't salt and pepper the meat because I have enough salt and pepper in the mushroom mixture. Make a couple slits here. Put a little olive oil down. I have a little spray in there too, of nonstick spray. And this is going to go into 425 degree oven for about 25 minutes. We're going to go right down here. And in she goes. Now the first appetizer that we're going to do is the Clams Casino. These are little neck clams. You need to release them from the shell so people can eat them. Simply go like that. I also like to take this little membrane out too. Back in like that. Same with this one. Just makes for a nicer presentation. Take that shell off. in a pan, olive oil, and do the television. I'm just doing a couple of them here. I have a whole plate that's in the oven that I'll show you after. High heat, a little bit of onion. Normally in a regular oven, I would probably just do this in the oven raw, but our pizza ovens are really hot, and I wanted to I don't want to burn the product. So that's really enough time. That gets the onions and peppers, bacon, and Parmesan cheese. Chardonnay wine. A little bit of bacon. Some Parmesan. Tiny bit of Chardonnay. Just for a little liquid in the clam. And a tiny bit more parm on top. Salt and pepper. We're just going to put this aside. We're going to cook all these together in a few minutes. And we're going to move on to Drunken Shrimp. Drunken Shrimp, this is a tequila-based dish with a lemon, lime, butter. I have peeled and deveined shrimp. This is a pound of shrimp, 18 to 20s, which is, I explained that in last shows. Shrimp are measured by size. The bigger the number, the smaller the number, the bigger they are. The bigger the number, the smaller they are. And the 18 to 20s mean 18 to 20 per pound. That's what they're hoping to achieve. So olive oil in the pan we just used, same ingredients. A little bit of pepper. Some onion. Yes, I'm very clumsy, so I drop a lot of stuff here. And let's get a little brown. We're going to deglaze it with some tequila. And as we know last time, we don't want to burn the place down or start any fires or our install system. But everybody likes a good fire, so. Okay, I'm going to put the shrimp in. That's going to calm the flame down a little bit. I got a simple vegetable stock here that I made myself. I'm going to put that in there. Shrimp take about 3 minutes to cook. Just when they get a little pink. We're going to let this bring the liquid come to a boil and reduce just a little bit. We'll add our butter and salt and pepper. And our fresh herbs. I always try to use fresh herbs if you can. Dried are okay, but fresh are always better. Fresh are always better. Those shrimp are looking lovely. Before we put the butter in, we put the acid in always before the butter. If you don't do that, the sauce will break. Put that lemon right in there. And I'll put the lime in there too. My glasses keep falling down. I broke my glasses with my dog this morning, so I got some old cheapo ones on, folks. So if I'm looking at my glasses, I apologize. That's what's going on. At this point, tiny bit of garlic. Sometimes I would put cilantro in this dish. A lot of people don't like cilantro that I've learned over the past few years, unless you're at a real good Mexican restaurant. So I try to stay away from it. Mike is also here, the general manager. They're going to be doing pizza, a Clams Casino pizza in a little while. And like I said, all these dishes are made. You can make all this beforehand and just heat this up in the oven. So you can do it in the morning and have a great time with your guests. That's looking very good. We're going to take some butter now. About a quarter of a stick, 2.5, 3 ounces. My boss got me nice new containers for the show. Thanks, Jimmy. Appreciate that. Shout out to his wife, Ann, too. Hi, Ann. I hope you're having a nice day at school, because we're having fun at your restaurant here today. Okay, a little bit of Parmesan cheese. We're going to finish this with a tiny bit of Chardonnay. And reduce that a little more. It's looking pretty good. I have some fresh parsley here. Salt and pepper to taste. Excellent, excellent. Get a little kick from the tequila. The lemon and lime are fabulous. I'm gonna grab my blue plate. These plates, incidentally, come from three crazy ladies consignment shop in Rockville. They gave me a deal on all my flatware. They're really nice people. If you're ever in the area, give them a visit. These I would serve. You could put some toothpicks in them. People could pick them up like that. This would be a small bites menu, or they call it almost bouche. A little more of the sauce on top. And that's Drunken Shrimp, Johnny Murray style. On to the next appetizer, bacon wrapped scallops. Bacon wrapped scallops, very, very simple. This is a scallop. This is the elixir muscle that hooks the mollusk to the shell. That has to come off. That's like a piece of rubber if you eat it. It's not very nice. These scallops came from Highland Park. I like to use a lot of bacon because I love bacon. So does everybody else, bacon and butter. And just wrap it up. I don't use the whole piece because that is too much bacon. And I'll show you how to fry them in the pan so they come out really nice. I serve them with a horseradish dill sauce that I've already made. Okay. This is almost ready. Okay, and when you do the scallops too, we start frying them like where the seam is on the bottom. It will keep the bacon tight around the scallop, and in theory it won't unwrap. Beautiful. I'm gonna hit that with a little pepper. Scallops, another one of my favorite dishes. The guy that owns a fish market in Willimantic, he has a worker named Paul, and I was working in Pawcatuck at a restaurant, and he brought these scallops in, just came back from fishing. They were pink, and he fried them in the fryer for like 30 seconds with a rich cracker crust on it. It was probably one of the best things I ever ate in my life. And I really didn't used to be a scallop fan. Always been a lobster fan, but not really scallops. My high school food service teacher tried to get me to eat scallops, and I wouldn't do it. Mrs. Bush, I think you're still around, Mrs. Bush. If you can see me, I'm still cooking 40-something years later. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have got out of high school, so thank you very much for all those food service classes, because I needed them. Beautiful. Just looking for a little brown. Scallops can cook very quickly, just like shrimp too. I'm going to pop them in the oven for a couple minutes once they're brown. And then I have a nice presentation. Also, a shout out to all the veterans on Veterans Day on Friday. I'm one of you too. Thanks for all you do for our country. I've been in many countries in the world being in the service. This is the greatest country to live in, by far. So as you see in theory, so sometimes the bacon doesn't stay on. But when I put it in the oven, we'll just put that back on the bottom, and you won't even see that. Saving a little olive oil in the pan. A little more pepper. Pan's really hot. As I said, I'll put that seam side down, and they should stay down. Start baking wraps again. We're going to do the lobster stuffed mushrooms. Okay, I already have the mixture made, which is right here. The raw state is just the mushrooms chopped to a tiny state with a tiny bit of onion. I mixed in breadcrumbs, a tiny bit of garlic, and parsley. I use the stems for that purpose. Have the lobster right here. You can see that's a nice piece of claw right there. We're going to chop that up nicely. We're going to add this to the mixture of breadcrumbs. And I like to get a lot of lobster, and I don't like to be cheap about it. So, and if you're going to go out for New Year's Eve anyway, you would have spent a couple $100 anyway. So it's better to spend a couple $100, stay home, be safe, have fun with your friends. I'm saying that because I'm old. So all you young people, have fun. I used to on New Year's Eve, but not anymore. I need a pan to put this in. Number 2. See all the nice chunks of lobster, not shredded up. That's what people want to see. They want to see nice pieces of lobster. There we go. Then I'll take a little bit of parm, put on top of that. And that's your lobster stuffed mushroom. Obviously, that was a lobster that was already out of the shell, which I did on my last show. I look it up on YouTube. You can see how I did that. And that's a lobster stuffed mushroom. Holy shit, man. Christ, man. Moving on to mini twice baked potatoes. Very simple. These are the potatoes in the raw state. These small ones are available in any grocery store now. I believe these are Yukon Golds, but there's colored ones. You can use whatever you want. But like I said, I like it to be like one bite. That's why I got the really small ones. So with these little potatoes, I baked them for about 23 minutes at 350. And they're perfect little baked potatoes. I have the smallest of the measuring spoons we have. Just scoop out the middle. Just like that. Now I have the potato mixture available. I have it in a piping bag. This is a piping bag or a pastry bag. It's available at like Michael's or something like that for about $3 or $4. Has a tip on it. This is a very large one I use for the restaurant. You can get like a 12-inch one. You can also use just a plastic bag. But just for a little investment, you take the piping bag, and it just makes a little better presentation for a party there. And people are like, wow, how did you do that? And you can tell them to look at Johnny Murray's cooking show, and they'll learn how to do this. It's like this. And this is just a simple mashed potato mixture, salt, pepper, tiny bit of sour cream, and Cabot cheddar cheese. That's what we use in the restaurant. It's the best extra sharp cheddar anywhere. Put that with a little parsley. And there we have it. I'm actually going to put a little olive oil down there. These cook in the oven in about 4 or 5 minutes because they're already done. While we're down here, let's check on our beef Wellington. Yeah, it's coming up pretty good. I think we're going to blast it into the big oven though at 550. Now I'm gonna do a little cleanup here. Matt's gonna come over and do a Clams Casino Pizza.
Hi, I'm Mike, manager here at Wicked Slice.
Hi, I'm Matt. I'm the assistant manager here at the Wicked Slice.
And today we're going to show you how to make a clam casino pizza. So first off, we're going to put a light olive oil base down. After that, I like to take the minced garlic that we have and put it on the base as well. That way the garlic cooks in with the oil and it cooks the flavor more into the pizza crust.
Next off, we'll be taking the clams and throwing those down before we go ahead and toss the cheese on top of the pizza.
Again, like the last show with the steak Diane, we put the meat down first before the cheese so that when the cheese cooks and releases that moisture, it doesn't dry out the meat product that we are using. In this case, is clams. We're going to take our shredded mozzarella cheese, sprinkle it lightly over the top. Like so. And then as Johnny showed you guys how to make the Clams Casino Pizza, we've got diced peppers, diced onions, and chopped bacon that we're going to top that with. Very nice, Matt. And the onions are going to go down here. And I like to always put the bacon on last, right on top, so it won't get soggy, so the moisture won't absorb into that. You always want your bacon nice and crispy. Again, like all our pizzas here at Wicked Slice, we take a little bit of our Parmesan Reggiano around the crust, get that flavor into that crust. And also a little bit of our oregano and basil mixture around the crust. And then we're going to go ahead and take the pizza and put it in our 550-degree oven. Like I said, most home ovens will go up to 550 degrees, so this is definitely something that you can do at home. Get that out of there. That needs to come out. So we'll go ahead and let that pizza cook for about 7 to 8 minutes. Obviously, keep an eye on that. Any bubbles come up, go ahead and push them down. Like I said last episode, when those bubbles build up, they really push the toppings to the side, so you want to catch them early to keep a nice, even pizza with the toppings.
Go ahead and take the pizza out of the oven.
I'm Matt. I drive a Saab. I go to college. See, I'm trying to get him to laugh a little bit. Matt's a good guy. Matt's a good guy. Matt and Mike, that pizza was wonderful. Like they all do
There
here
you
at
are,
Wicked Slice.
Clam Casino Pizza.
And Da Vinci's Ellington Hebron. I'm back. Thanks, Mike and Matt, for making that pizza for us. Right now, we're going to cut into our beef Wellington. It's a little rare right now, but I just want to show you what it would look like. I didn't have enough time to cook it right now. All our other dishes are done. I'm going to bring the beef over right now and give it a cut right here. There it is, a tenderloin of beef, beef Wellington style. We cut a little piece off the end. And it is a little rare, be easier to cut. But you get the idea, folks. It's a piece of crispy pastry. It's actually another 4 or 5 minutes that would have been almost that rare. This is the wonderful mushroom mixture on the bottom that gives it all the flavor. And there's your beef Wellington. I'm going to bring it over with the other dishes so you can see them all together. Again, I got these at a consignment shop in Rockville, 3 Crazy Ladies. If you can support all small businesses, we represent 51% of the economy in America, and people don't understand that. I have no problem with the big box stores when you have to go there, but when you can support a little guy, we really appreciate it. So what we have is beef Wellington, drunken shrimp, bacon wrapped scallops with a sour cream horseradish sauce, We have mini twice baked potatoes with Cabot extra sharp cheddar, lobster stuffed mushrooms, and Clams Casino. And this will be my lineup for New Year's Eve. Again, thank you very much for watching my show. We have more shows coming up. It's a ball. And please have a safe, happy New Year's Eve. Thank you very much. John out from Coventry, Connecticut. Bye, folks.